everyone, and welcome back to the Happy Home. I'm so glad to have you here. In this video, I'm going to be making some postpartum meals. This is going to be a couple day compilation that you'll see of meals. I just do not have the energy to do all the meals in one day, plus keeping up with the kids and everything else that requires my demands right now, or the demands that require me right now. So I made a compilation with some, try to show you how I'm doing things and how I go about freezing things to get ready for Sweet Baby. Sweet Baby is due just in a couple weeks. So it's important that I get this done and get my freezer filled. I can't even speak today. I don't know what it is. Pregnancy brain at its finest, I guess. Anyway, that's what this video is going to be about. So you're going to see kind of like several days put together into one video, just so I don't burn myself out, because I do have kids and we're still homeschooling, and we're getting ready to take a big break for when baby gets here. And we actually homeschool year round, so we can actually afford to take this a little longer winter break, if you will, for baby, and then the holidays that are getting ready to fall with that. So anyway, come along with me. I hope this gives some ideas. Even if you're not expecting a baby, it's always nice to have food in your freezer on hand for the what if, you know. I know there's sometimes I'll do this too. If I have time, I'll make extras of things and I'll freeze them, and that way if something happens, you're tired, you're sick or whatnot, you have food that you can just simply pull out from your freezer, and warm up so the kids can eat. Not a big deal. It saves money instead of ordering something. So there's times I will just like double recipes to do that. And so that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm just taking a recipe, feeding my family dinner, and then I'm doubling it to throw into the freezer. So that's what you're going to be seeing. So I showed you in a couple of my other grocery hauls that I was preparing for these. So now you're going to get to see how some of this food actually gets utilized in our house. But yeah, so hope you can come along with us and get some ideas. And yeah, hope you enjoy this video, and I hope everybody's doing okay. Appreciate you watching, and let's get to the kitchen, shall we? Come on. All right, so the first thing I'm doing is I'm chopping up my beef stew meat that I got at Sam's Club last night. Chopping it up, and I'm putting it into my warm crock pot, and I'm going to stir it up with some flour here in a second. All right, now I'm going to add some olive oil. And then we're going to add some flour to the top and just mix it all up till they're all coated. And then my crock pot is hot. I've had it warming up on high. We're going to let this cook for a little bit before adding like the sauces and the vegetables and things like that. This kind of helps make the meat super tender, but then when you want to thicken your soup up, this kind of helps having that done besides doing it on the stovetop. All right, so I added one container of this beef broth to the crock pot here and stirred everything up, and then turned this guy on low. And now I'm working on peeling some potatoes, and I'm going to chop them up to put in. All right, now I got all the potatoes chopped up and mixed together. Now I'm going to work on chopping up carrots for the next part. I got everything incorporated in here. I am going to set it on low and let it cook for about 6 hours. And this is dinner tonight. All right, night 2 of dinner. I had put a whole tray from Sam's Club, their chicken breast, in here. There's about 8 chicken breasts in here. I just filled it up with a little bit of water, put some poultry seasoning on it, turned it on low. It's probably been on low now for about 5 to 6 hours. They are done. I'm going to transfer them into my mixer here to shred them all up. And I'm going to get several meals out of these. So yeah, I'm going to get that done. Alright, so I got all those shredded. I'm going to save some to do for another night of meals. And then some to use for tonight. And then this is even if you're not doing postpartum meals and you just want like shredded chicken, you can just like cook it, shred it, and then freeze it. And then when you're ready to figure out what you want to make, at least the chicken is cooked and shredded. It makes it a lot easier to turn it into a meal. This is for our freezer in this container. This is going to be for dinner tonight. I've used some of the chicken in here. Some of the chicken here is just chicken. I have about 4 cups of chicken here, and I still have about 2 cups of chicken in here, so not too bad on the chicken. I'm going to add cream of chicken. This one's probably going to take 2, and so I'm going to have to pull out another one for this guy. And then add some sour cream and top it with Ritz crackers. Alright, so I got the cream of chicken and the sour cream all mixed together. Now I'm going to add some pepper and some salt before I put the Ritz crackers on. And it does have this poultry seasoning still on them from the crock pot. Okay, now I added the salt and pepper. I'm going to use these oldie version of Ritz crackers. I'm going to crush them up and put them on top. So they're all crushed up like this, and then we're going to pour it on top. Alright, and I'm going to cook this in the oven for 350, probably for a good 30 minutes. And here's my sink of shame, all the dishes I gotta get done. Oh well, but I did want to show you, we're decorating for Christmas. Whatever part of my to-do list before baby gets here is to get Christmas all out and ready. But I mean, seriously, we went, let me turn on my light here. We went to Aldi. If you watched my one Aldi video, we got one of these cookie jars. Instead of using for a cookie jar, because I don't think the seal is that great to keep cookies fresh long enough, I put hot chocolate packets in here instead. I thought it was really cute for that. And then we went to Hobby Lobby, and look how cute he is. He's a gingerbread nutcracker. Like, how adorable is that? I had to get him. He was 50% off too, so if you're looking for some fun holiday stuff, Hobby Lobby's Christmas stuff and their fall stuff was 50% off. Okay, so for tonight's dinner, we're having creamy beef and noodles. I cut up the rest of those beef stew meat that I had the other night from when I made beef stew. I used half of that package for the stew, and then the other half's for night. So tonight I just browned it up with some olive oil, and it's here in a bowl. And then now I have two cartons of beef broth coming to a boil. And then I'm going to add some of these wide egg noodles to cook up. I can't remember where I got the recipe from, but it's not my original one, but I've kind of adapted it to fit our needs. But that's what we're making tonight for dinner. All right, and I simply add the noodles to the beef broth, and then I'm going to just let them cook up till they're done. All right, now that noodles are done, I'm gonna leave them in the broth. I'm gonna add some dried chopped onion. I'm gonna put all the meat back in. Then we're gonna add 2 cans of the cream of mushroom. And then we're gonna add a half a container of this 24-ounce thing of sour cream into here.
Daddy's gotta look up in the attic.
We're just gonna mix all that together. And then lastly, we're going to add, some parsley. And we're just gonna kind of let this sit and kind of marry together. All right, there's dinner for tonight. She's ready. All right, so in the crock pot, I have some peeled and chopped potatoes covered with water and just with some salt and pepper on top. And then it's going to be put on low for several hours. All right, so my potatoes are done cooking in the crock pot. It's easily been about 6 to 8 hours that it was cooking in there. I transferred some into the blender, and I'm going to blend this up to give it that nice like creamy texture to it. All right, now I'm going to be adding this container of this dairy-free heavy whipping cream. You don't have to necessarily use dairy-free. It's just something we prefer. So I'm going to be adding that to all the mashed up potatoes. All right, after you have that all mixed in, then we're going to add some cheese to it and mix that up. And I have my burner going on low and just gonna kind of sit here and marry together. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys how I normally freeze like soups or like saucier things. For instance, saucier things, like beef and noodles here. I normally double Ziploc them. I've learned my lesson over the years with a child pulling one out. It will pop open and they get freezer burnt. So I always do one bag on the inside, make sure all the air is out that will actually hold the food. Then I put another one over it, make sure all the air is out, and seal it up. And then I lay it flat like so and to go in the freezer, so that way I can stack them up in my freezer. But that's one way I do these things. Now casseroles like lasagna, chicken casserole, enchiladas, or even cinnamon rolls, I will actually do in a pan. One of these type foil pans. This one has cinnamon roll and I marked it for Christmas time. Those are Christmas ones. But then I'll wrap them real good, these are normally more expensive, so I do prefer to go the route of the Ziploc. That's why I try to use more of those, but it doesn't really make sense to have something like soup in a foil pan than it does the other. So that's how I go about freezing this. All right, so that's it for those couple postpartum meal ideas. Again, if you're not really having a baby or whatnot, just some ideas to fill in the freezer as well. Hopefully that helps you guys out, gives you guys some ideas. I appreciate you spending some time with me. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell icon. That way you know when another video pops up. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. See y'all soon. Bye.